And this comes to us from Madam Savvy. And I was given the heads up on this situation earlier as well, but she did a lot of the legwork for all of us. So shout out to her for this. Games for Change, which has World Economic Forum ties and has all the usual suspects like Dr. Kowert and her band of know nothing losers, which, by the way, for those of you that don't know this Dr. Kowert character, this is literally the definition of everything that's wrong with infiltrating the game industry with ideology. Dr. Kowert is cringe to the max. Dr. Kowert, if you remember, was the one that penned this article on takethis.org. And this was one of those really, really just frustrating articles to try to read through, because all it does is tell you you're wrong and that they're right about everything. And it's addressed to basically people in Congress and people that don't play games to get angry at people that do play games. And it's like, why would you do that? Stay in your lane. Get away from us. Why are you doing this? Get away. If you're reading this, you've probably been hearing about what's being called Gamergate 2. It's the latest targeted harassment campaign within the game industry, and it's aimed at Sweet Baby Inc., a Montreal-based narrative development studio. Man, this will age like milk. The campaign also has been impacting entities and games associated with Sweet Baby, journalists covering the issue, and others associated in various ways with the targets. You may also be at a loss to know how to talk about the issue and what, if anything, you can do about it. That's where we come in. Oh, you don't know what to think? We are your NPC chip to put in the back of your head so that you have the message to go out there and preach to other people. I am the person to give that to you. Like, the audacity to have this mentality is beyond disgusting. This was posted on March 11th, 2024. It says Discord, Steam, and X have been predominant platforms where the abuse and harassment have been taking place. In these spaces, lists of game studios, companies, and associated organizations are being circulated for targeting by members of the mob. Oh my God. Oh my God. This sounds evil. Members of the mob targeting a harassment campaign? Oh my God. Targets everywhere. How dare people have opinions and thoughts that stray from the common of what they want you to think? That's wild. Large-scale harassment campaigns like this. Like what? So far, you've not said anything except a bunch of words. What has happened? What the hell? Are fueled by political events and political rhetoric heats up ahead of the U.S. presidential election later this year. This is, again, before Trump got into office, which, like I was saying, this is the the aging like milk because of what transpired afterwards. This was fear mongering right here. This was a don't you dare vote for Trump because you want this to happen. Do you want this to happen? This is what's going to continue if you vote for Trump. Meanwhile, this is while Biden's in office, but details. As political rhetoric heats up around the U.S. presidential election, this kind of online activity is going to ramp up. What kind of online activity? People are chatting in Discord about companies they don't like and why they don't like them. That's not an organized hate campaign. That's called a fucking conversation. What the hell are we doing here? And it's important to understand that these phenomena are interrelated. As scholars and journalists have noted, oh yeah, let's listen to these scholars and journalists because we can totally trust them. They would never lead anyone astray. The targeted harassment, hate, and cultural norms that were at the heart of Gamergate in the mid-2010s never went away. Oh, the horror. Turn off your fucking computer and go outside. What the hell are you talking about? Where is all this stuff that she's bitching about? Where is it? Do you not like when someone has a different opinion from you? Do you automatically think it's targeted harassment when someone says, I think you're wrong about something? Because if you do, you're going to have a bad time on the internet. People in game spaces, especially marginalized, here we fucking go with the marginalized developers and content creators, face hate and harassment daily. You know who else does? Everybody. I mean, I think if I really wanted to be a pussy, if I really wanted to be one of these lefty lunatics, I could kick up a shitstorm. I could call out Hypnotic. I could say, Hypnotic, you son of a, you targeted harassed me on Saturday Night Hypnosis when I wasn't there, and you played clips of videos of me and you made fun of me, Hypno. And people were laughing at me. And that hurt my feelings, Hypno. I'm so hurt. How could you do that to me? I was moaning. And then you played the clip of myself. And yes, I did it. But that's not my fault that I did it, because I don't take accountability for anything. That's your fault for clipping it and then showing it to people. Yeah. And because of that, you are now targeting and harassing me on my platform. And I'm not even marginalized. This is crazy. What are we going to do, guys? Oh my God. This internet thing is just awful. These people are just terrible people. It's terrible. In fact, how about you grow a set? If you can't take the heat, get the out of the kitchen. Research conducted by Take This, the company that is a grifting organization to steal money from people, allegedly, has outlined an entire spectrum and typology of extremism and dark participation. The fuck is dark participation? That sounds racist. Dark participation. Whoa, buddy. We got... What the hell? What is going on?
No, buddy! Wild stuff!
Dark participation. Is that when Kata and Atreus are on New Blackstreet? Is that, do you consider that dark participation on YouTube? What the hell? Oh man. In games that is bigger than any one movement, but underlies all of them, it can be scary or uncomfortable to think about, to talk about, and to understand. In overwhelming situations, it's not unusual to feel at a loss or to have thoughts of helplessness. Get a grip. What the hell? Your problems are not people's fault. If you can't handle the internet, don't blame the internet for your inability to handle the problems that you create yourself. Take some accountability. And if you don't like it, you don't have to participate in it. That's the magic in how this works. If you want to dive into a mosh pit and you start getting elbowed in the back of the head, guess what happens? You're going to get elbowed in the back of the head when you jump into a mosh pit. Can't get mad at people for that. That's literally what happens. That's what the point of it is. These people are trying to change what exists. They can't do that, so then they try to blame other people for not being like they are. No one is doing anything violent. No one is threatening or attacking that I've seen, at least, that participates in the realm that I'm in. It's just healthy conversations and calling people out. That's all it is. That's all it is. Sure, some people are a little bit more brash than others when it comes to it, but At the end of the day, that's really what it boils down to. But there are, I think you said the guy who wrote this crap, I think it's a woman. Dr. Kowert or whatever, I think it's a woman. But there are things we can do to mitigate the harm for everyone. It's extremely important to speak out and step up for folks who are being harmed. What is this? What does this mean? Words can never hurt you. Sticks and stones may break your bones. Words can never hurt you. Words can never hurt you. I don't know how many times I need to say that. Words can never hurt you. Exactly, Spookity. Define harmed. You called me something mean? You hurt my fifis? This kind of support can take many different forms. Oh, by the way, when YouTube starts bending the knee to these mean words are attacks on me, that's when these types of people start to learn how to manipulate the terms of service to get more words and more acts of, as they would put it, acts of aggression banned so that they can create a space of just their own echo chamber. It's a virus. It's a virus that they've learned how to spread. This could be an email or quick check-in with the people in your orbit. Who the fuck says that? Who are targets of harassment or are close to those targets. Okay, so I guess like what Alyssa Mercante and her ilk are doing right now to me and friends or people that I associate with or people that I know of. So right now there's a targeted harassment campaign going on against me by Alyssa Mercante and her ilk currently. And she has even admitted so much to it in many different forms. So what are we doing here? Is it only okay for you guys to call it out on us, but when we call it out on you, it's different because you're allowed to do that because you justify it? I feel like that's rules for thee, not for me kind of standards. It's not okay. It's not okay. For industry leaders, look at this. You may be inclined to be quiet or cautious, but that's not actually helpful. As noted in our resource, Empowering the Game Industry, a major lesson learned from Gamergate: get out of the industry. Get out. No one wanted you here. No one asked for you. There's no need for you. Get out. Get out. Get out of the industry. Why are you here? Who invited you? Why are you telling people how they need to act? Fuck out. Get the door. There it is. Bye. Bye. No one's going to miss you. See, the reason why you're here is because you're grifting. You're trying to get that U.S. aid money. You're trying to get the companies to feel like they have to give you money, or else they're going to get banned or blocked or brigaded by your journal mafia buddies. Because would you believe if I told you they even start to talk about journal mafia buddies in this kind of stuff? They literally link to Alyssa Mercante's article as a source. This is a source. The article that's filled with a bunch of half-truths and lies by omission over and over and over again. One of Alyssa Mercante's, according to her, best performing, if I recall correctly, best performing articles where she got put on the map. And then the whole reason why she got noted for it was because people are upset because she didn't tell the whole story and people are trying to correct the record and she refused to correct the record. That apparently turned into a harassment campaign because she refused to correct the record. Sorry, not buying it. Correct the fucking record. That's what people wanted. Anyways, I went off on a tangent there. Dr. Kowert, who wrote that article, and her band of know-nothing losers had somehow infiltrated China and intends to spread the DEI bullpucky. They've been busy lately trying to continue to use the medium of games as a means of change, aka control and spreading propaganda. None of these people have ever contributed meaningfully in gaming, care about games, and most of them defer to whatever government-approved talking points are allowed for the day. If you need a refresher, Dr. Kowert is a loser who defended Sweet Baby Inc. and put me on the trail of her government grifting. Oh, curious. She, along with a British-born AI company and a bum chum friend at a university, swindled $669,000 from the Department of Homeland Security, American tax dollars, to study the oh so important research of terrorist recruitment in gaming. And no, this is not a joke. This actually happened. And guess what they found out? There's not really much. That's not anything. I mean, they made up a bunch of stuff trying to justify it, but nope, there's not really anything there. Shocker. I know. The topic was so important and fruitful, she immediately moved on to write about Taylor Swift fans once the contract was done. Here we have Games for Change Hong Kong. Who the hell is funding this? Games for Change Hong Kong workshop. Climate and well-being. Green Frontier, cultivating tomorrow's green job leaders. If there was more of a less useful career in the world, I'd like to see it. Take away the funding sources, and you'd find out that none of these jobs actually need to exist at all. Following the success of our sold-out Games for Change Hong Kong event in 2023 and our subsequent intermission workshop series, we're back with a bold new vision to explore the new, better futures within and brought about by interactive media, and with license to launch the official Games for Change Hong Kong chapter. Proudly, the first ever local chapter in Asia. It's fucking spreading. The virus is spreading actively as we see it right now. With the theme Playing at the New Frontiers, our 2025 festival expands beyond games and education to examine a wider spectrum of interactive mediums for social impact and education, as well as urgent adjacent topics in the game industry itself. From diversity, inclusion, and regional representation to the power of interactive media in addressing topics such as climate change, well-being, and human creativity, aka using entertainment and video games specifically as a vehicle for change, advocacy, and being an activist, pushing your agenda via the bus of games. And yikes, they're literally admitting it here. They're saying the quiet part out loud. They're saying literally what we're doing is using games to indoctrinate people. Join us. Oh, man. But anyways, I'm going to give myself an aneurysm if I read this whole thing. Yikes. But yeah, banger post by Madam Savvy. Shout out to Savvy for this one. Thank you for putting that together. Appreciate you. We'll leave that there.